Okay. We knew going in we were going to play a really well-coached Rice team, older team, four starters back from last year. Gave us a great game a year ago, and we didn't expect anything less. I thought our guys came out and really set the tone defensively early in the game. We knew we were going to have to play some really good shooter defense and really sit down and guard. They're a really good offensive team, a team that puts a lot of pressure on you, especially at the basket. They're a really good cutting team. Fiddler's one of the best passing big guys in college basketball. So, again, I thought our guys did a good job for 40 minutes tonight. We knew it was going to be a game where you had to play the entire time, and I thought we did that. And we came out in the second half and really set the tone again and really established what we want to get done for the remainder of the game. So proud of the way our guys played and competed against, I think, a really good Rice team.
Raise hands, please. Questions for Caden and Brock. Eric, far left, please.
Caden, I'll start with you. Just kind of piggyback off that. Second career made three. First part of the question is that part of your game stretching out your range a little bit, and hopefully you're taking advantage of those 3-point shots. And the second part of the question, just where do you feel physically? The last time we talked to you, you said you're still kind of getting into game shape. So where do you feel physically?
Yeah. So when I was coming back from my little surgery deal or shoulder deal, shooting was actually the first thing I was able to start doing back in August. We kind of reworked my whole shot. And so the goal is to be able to extend that range a little more this year, especially maybe when I get the brace off and all that. But physically, I feel like I'm getting better. I got tired today, so I'm gonna keep working to try and get myself to where I'm playing. I played 21 minutes and feel like I can still go like 5 to 8 more, like get to 30 if I need to. So so that's the goal. Definitely improvement every week with how I'm feeling physically, though.
Yeah, Caden, kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit. This is your third game back, first game starting, most minutes you've played for Texas so far. With the Empire Classic coming up next weekend, how do you feel going up against some higher level competition in about a week?
Yeah, I feel good about it. It'll be good to go against the ACC team again in Louisville. I have some good experience against them. So that'll be fun. And then, on the other side of it, both UConn and Indiana are both really talented teams. So, we're just really excited for the opportunity. We're going to, just prepare for Sunday. We're taking it one game at a time, so not even looking towards Monday right now. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to play some higher competition, yeah.
Thomas, go ahead.
Brock, what do you think of the spacing right now with the team? I mean, 5 guys made 3-point shots. Mm-hmm. How would you evaluate that right now?
It's a recipe that we told with a little bit in the Big 12 tournament, putting 4 shooters out there and, part of Dylan DeSue's success last year. But it makes it really hard on the defense because you have to respect everyone, and then it's a one-on-one game in the post-ups, and we've got some of the best posts in the country. So it bodes well for the future.
Joe in front.
Brock, late in the first half, there was a possession that went late shot clock. You got a block. Dylan Mitchell got a block. How important was that at a time when it had gotten down to as close as 4 and y'all were kind of playing a little sloppy at that point?
Every possession is important, and we're starting to figure out that defense is what wins, and that was a great defensive possession, and it helped us win the game.
Terry, back left.
Caden, what is it like for you when, especially in the second half, kind of, I don't know if I'd say slow, but methodical in the first. Second half, the speed turned up quite a bit. What's it like for you on the floor and just playing at that pace?
Everything mentally is starting to slow down for me a little bit. It's definitely faster than I played at Virginia, and having not been out there for the last few months, it's still coming back to me. I still have moments where I'm like going too fast myself. Like at the end of the first half, I tried to make a move, but I was just going too fast. So, I'm still working to kind of feel the game out, try and slow down mentally, but it's getting better. I'm trying to get used to the pace of play, and it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, I'm going to keep working to get there.
Raj, front right.
Brock, when you focus as much as you guys are trying to not give them 3-pointers, some drives, is that something that you just give up,
Yeah, if we were able to take away everything, we'd be the best defensive team in the country. But if you're going to run off good 3-point shooters, you're going to have to get driven a little bit. That's the sport of basketball, and be able to cover up for another teammate. That's what makes defensive teams great. We figured that out towards the end of last year, and we're working to get that back.
Brock, turnovers were a problem against Delaware State, and a little bit of a problem today. Where do you see that part of your game, and how much of the coaching staff emphasizing cutting those down?
We're still learning right now. Of course, you can't win big games with a lot of turnovers, and we're going into New York to play some good teams, and we got to take care of the ball. But it's third game of the season, and we're getting better with each and every game. The turnovers that we're having aren't as bad as they have been. We're still working to cut those down.
Last one for players for Joe in front.
Caden, it looked like you were trying to force Max as far out on the perimeter as possible with your defense. How do you feel you did on that assignment tonight?
Yeah, I watched a lot of film on him going into this game. I saw Brock last year giving him a lot of pressure and how much that kind of changed their whole offense. So I was trying to keep most of his catches, the ones that I could, outside the three-point line. I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with it. Let's see, he had 5 assists. I mean, I didn't keep them all outside the three-point line. You got to do a little better at that. But I guess it wasn't bad, but there could definitely be improvement.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Raise hands.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach, please. Start far left, Eric. Thank you.
Coach, just want to ask, obviously in the first half, please, you guys had 8 turnovers, which led to 11 points off turnovers for Rice. How do you juxtapose the fact that this kind of appears like it's going to be, a really good offensive team, and you want to give them the freedom to do things offensively with, trying to protect the basketball and not, create opportunities for the other team?
Yeah, Eric, I think it's a it's the ebb and flow of the games. We're going to continue to get better taking care of the basketball. I mean, we did have 8. We ended up with 16 for the game, and we try to go into every game saying we're going to try to have 10 or less. And again, it's just a matter of just again making a simple play, being strong with the ball, and hitting the open man. And I think our guys again. Just attention to detail in terms of being able to do that. Over the course of the season, I think we'll improve and get better with that. We have older guards that played a lot of basketball, and they'll continue to understand the urgency of value and taking care of the basketball and not beating ourselves.
Stand on the left, Thomas.
Coach, you started Brock in the second half with IT on the bench. What was the thought process behind that, and how do you think the team responded to that?
Well, we kind of fall into 2 games where we came out and didn't have the urgency we needed to have and start in halves. It was really important that you end halves the right way and you start halves the right way. And I think you've got to come out and have a level of urgency in terms of what you're doing. I thought that Brock gave us a great lift there throughout the first part of the first half, and he was playing really well. And I thought he'd come out and set the tone for us in the second half, and he did, with communication and playing at a level of intensity that you have to start those kind of halves. And I thought we did a good job with that.
Coach, obviously Caden Shedrick had a big night tonight. What are you liking that you're seeing out of Caden as he starts to get ramped back up?
Well, again, I think as he continues to get his conditioning at the level that we needed to, that he'll get over the course of the season. He's one of those guys that, and I've said it many times before, Tony did a great job with him at Virginia, but we do think that he can give us some inside presence in terms of scoring the ball. He stepped out and made a 3 tonight. And he's worked hard on that as well. But he's one of those guys that can put constant pressure on the basket. Where we give him a touch inside, and he's able to go to work and carve out some space and play some inside out. He's also a really good passer out of the post as well. So, it gives us a chance to play some inside out basketball.
Second row, Terry.
Coach, you're about to go to New York. What conversations are you going to have with the players to make sure that they enjoy X? Make sure that they experience, it's going to be at a different stage. What are you hoping that they take from that experience, and will you take them outside of the basketball arena?
Great question, Terry. I think, anytime you get a chance, when I was here with Rick Barnes, we got a chance to go to New York every year. It gives, obviously, East Coast writers the chance to see us in person and get a chance to play on a major stage and, play at the Mecca, in Madison Square Garden. But again, the thing I want to see our guys, I want to see our guys have our defense try to travel with us. We're working really hard on trying to establish an identity in November here that we're going to guard hard every night. It may not be perfect, but we're playing extremely hard on that end of the floor. Hopefully, again, we'll have that travel with us to New York and that same type of identity early. I think it's important, too, as you get a chance to go across the country. We've got a number of different guys. We have 11 guys out of 16 guys that are from Texas. So we get a chance to go to the East Coast. And in New York in particular, you get a chance to take in a different type of culture in our country. We'll take our guys and give them a chance to be exposed a little bit to Broadway. We'll go and see a play. Many times guys will never have that opportunity to be able to do that and kind of expose them to that. We'll go see a really good Michael Jackson play. It's really good. We saw it a couple of years ago, and they're still playing it on Broadway right now, and I think our guys will really like it. It'll be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it for a second time.
Coach, against Delaware State, especially in the first half, the turnovers kind of keep you from getting into a rhythm offensively. Tonight, you still have some of the turnover problems, but at no point does the offense really stagnate. What do you think the difference was?
Well, again, I think sometimes we play a little casual. We have to continue to just stay locked into what we're doing in terms of taking care of the basketball. You're never going to play a perfect game in terms of turnovers. When they're basketball turnovers, we have no problem with those. But when they're turnovers where we're just kind of casual and careless with the ball, then those are the ones that we've got to cut out and get better with, and especially when there's no pressure that forces us into a turnover.
Two-prong, what do you think your identity is after 3 games and what you're seeing? And if you could just comment on your recruiting class.
Yeah, Kirk, I think to this point right now, I think our guys fully understand that. We have to be a team that sits down and tries to guard as hard as we possibly can. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but we have to sit down and play with the level of intensity, energy, activity on that end of the floor. And then we have to be able to try to finish possessions where we can get out. And I think we do have a fast team, an athletic team, that when we get out in transition, we're pretty hard to deal with. And we want to play fast up the floor, but we also want to try to get shots on our terms in terms of the way we want to try to play in attack mode on that end of the floor as well. Recruiting class, I think our staff's done a great job in this early signing period, identifying guys that we think fit our culture really well and have a chance to be really good young players. Players that have a chance to come in that have really high ceilings and have a chance to play with older players as well and could come in and be impact guys from day one.
All right.
Yeah, Coach. I know that you're a UTEP guy. I've been following you since then. That's my hometown. So what do you think about Zarek Onyema? I know he had a little bit of an incident today, but what do you have to say about the intensity and the physicality that he brings to the front court or the backcourt, front court?
I was happy with the way Zarek played today. I told Zarek, he's done an incredible job with his body and the way he looks. I want him to play physical, and if he knocks some people down and bang some people around, I've got zero problem with that. I thought he played and gave us a physical presence tonight. He gave us some rim protection. We much rather have a stone face after he made a great play on one end of the floor, but nevertheless praised him for playing with that level of intensity and having the ability to go and make plays on the other end of the floor without giving uncontested layups there. So I'm happy with what he's doing. I think again, the thing I challenge him to do is come in and play with a great motor, play with physicality, and give us a presence on both ends of the floor inside the paint.
Joe, go ahead, last one. I'm sure Coach would love to talk more about Trey.
Yeah, specifically about Trey, rankings wise, he's up there with guards that you're familiar with, like Avery. So what does he bring? I know he has a different game, but what does he bring to your program?
Well, Joe, I've been recruiting the state of Texas a long time, 12 years here at Texas, and Trey Johnson's one of the best guards I've seen, in the state of Texas, and that's pretty lofty in terms of some of the guys that we were able to get while I was here the previous tenure. But he's a guy that I've seen play at a very high level from the very start, of his recruitment. He sophomore year I saw him play against elite level guys in Case and Wallace and guys that are top 10 picks that are elite defensive players. And just give those guys almost 40 points in games. You know, I mean, he's just an elite guy. Some guys are wired to score. He's wired to score, but I think he also has a chance to be a really good two-way player. He has a chance to be a really good defender as well. But he's one of the elite players that come out of the state of Texas in terms of scoring the basketball that I've seen in my, 27 years of recruiting the state of Texas. He's elite, and he has next level ability, and he's a gym rat. He's a guy that he's one of those throwback guys like Kevin Durant that loves being in the gym. I'm excited about Nick Cody. Has a high ceiling as well. Late bloomer. He's going to have a chance to be a really good player as well and has a chance to be an impact player. Cam Scott, same thing. Athletic, NBA athleticism. A guy, too, that has a chance that can score the ball for us. Big-time athlete, NBA size. 3 really good young players that have a chance to be really good players in Longhorn uniforms for us. So we're excited about those guys. Great starting point for us right now. And staff, give those guys a lot of kudos in terms of what they were able to do in the recruiting process. Brandon did a great job with Nick Cody. Frank did an incredible job with Trey, and Ty Larson from a non-recruiting position did a great job with Cam Scott, developing a great relationship. So, our staff did a great job, in terms of really, developing relationships and identifying guys that we think could come in here and be really good players for us next season.
Thanks all. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.